Good afternoon. I'm Dana Tyler. This is a CBS2 News update. The memorial is growing for a 15-year-old boy dragged out of a store and stabbed to death in what appears to be a case of mistaken identity. At least 8 people are in custody in several states for the murder of that happened in the Belmont section of the Bronx. CBS2's Natalie Duddridge spoke with family members of this teenager who wanted to be a police officer.
Screaming for justice for Junior as one of the suspects in the brutal murder of a Belmont teen is walked out of the 48th Precinct Station House in Tremont. 19-year-old Kevin Alvarez is charged with second-degree murder, manslaughter, and gang assault. Cheers rang out in the Belmont neighborhood as word spread that 5 people were arrested in the brutal stabbing death of 15-year-old Lisandro Guzman Feliz, known as Junior.
Thank God they catch him. They have to pay what they did with my son. My son was innocent.
Around 5 o'clock Sunday, another man was taken into custody in Paterson, New Jersey, one of 3 apprehended there. Another was arrested in the Bronx, and a 5th turned himself in after seeing himself in the surveillance video. Investigators say all of the suspects are members of a gang. Neighbors say it's the Dominican gang Trinitarios. Police say the teen killed was not connected to any gang. They've been searching for his killers since Wednesday, when they say the men dragged Guzman Feliz out of a bodega on Bathgate Avenue and East 183rd Street and then stabbed him repeatedly. Cell phone video shows the teen running 1 block to St. Barnabas Hospital, where he died.
I won't gonna have my son never. This is my little angel.
His family says Junior had big dreams of one day joining the NYPD. They say his murder is a case of mistaken identity. A relative who didn't want to show his face on camera says a gang member sent an apology on Snapchat.
They were just saying the messages that it wasn't for Junior. It was somebody else, but they confused him. And they said sorry, they apologized, and they sent their condolences, but it wasn't for them. But he's gone. That doesn't change anything.
A developing story on Long Beach, where rescue crews are searching for a missing swimmer. The 31-year-old man was in the water with friends overnight when he went under. Investigators say his friends tried to search for him before they called 911. Coast Guard and NYPD rescue teams have been scouring the rough waters all day. They're also joined by patrols on the beach and in the air. A mother is in trouble with the law because police say her underage daughter was caught speeding on a highway in Eastport. Yolanda Martinez Raimundo was not in the car. She's charged with endangering the welfare of a child. Police say her 15-year-old daughter was speeding and claim that her mother had allowed her to drive the car alone. The teenager tells us her mother did not know. Also in Suffolk County, police are trying to figure out who stole a wolf. Nikita the wolf vanished from an animal preserve in Holtsville. Here's CBS 2's Jennifer McLogan.
Concerned families turned away from the Holtsville Ecology Center as the hunt for the missing wolf continues. Suffolk police and SPCA investigators say it appears a rear lock was twisted and chain link fence compromised.
What we know so far is that the animal was specifically targeted by someone familiar with how the enclosure works. We had 3 fences that were cut through.
Nikita nowhere to be seen in her sanctuary home. The wolf arrived here last August when a Ronkonkoma family who bought her on the black market could no longer care for Nikita.
These animals are, by nature, wild animals. Yeah, they might be friendly for a while, but at some point in time, they're going to turn on you.
Nikita's original owners admitted buying her illegally as a weeks-old pup. By the time the wolf turned 6, she was becoming highly aggressive. They privately contacted the SPCA, who arranged for Nikita to live here.
We are, the Suffolk County SPCA, at this time is offering a $5,000 reward.
At the time last August, families were eager to have Nikita at the Ecology Center as her forever home.
Well, I think it's better because they could eat you. But I would really hope that they would put other wolves in it with it so that it'd be with its pack.
Police have been searching by air and by foot with canine. But if this was an inside job and the wolf was taken by a handler and driven away, Nikita could be just about anywhere right now. From Holtsville, Long Island, Jennifer McLogan, CBS 2 News.
As Jennifer said, the wolf had been domesticated. It had lived with a family, and it's believed it cannot live in the wild on its own. Again, it is considered a wild animal, a threat. Staff at the Ecology Center are asking anyone with knowledge of Nikita the wolf, the theft, contact them, and you can be anonymous on that. A plan to build an air train to LaGuardia Airport gets the green light. Governor Cuomo signed a measure which was approved last week by the state legislature, advancing the rail project. The Port Authority says air train will link to the Long Island Railroad and the subway system. Air travelers could get from Midtown to Manhattan on the rail and then get from Midtown Manhattan to LaGuardia in 30 minutes.
With no rail link, millions of passengers too frequently face inevitable congestion on the roadways and unpredictable delay in reaching the airport. They never know what the travel time to LaGuardia will be.
The Port Authority says it plans to conduct environmental studies this summer. Construction on the rail link could begin in 2020. It's expected to be completed in the year 2022. Now a commuter alert for right now. Lane closures beginning tonight as crews work on the Route 495 viaduct leading to the Lincoln Tunnel. 2 right lanes on 495 westbound will be closed from 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. for the next 3 nights. There will also be times that all westbound lanes will be closed, too. This is part of a major roadway rehabilitation project, which is expected to take a couple of years. As summer breaks begin, we're going to see a lot more children riding bicycles, and new research gives us some insight about biking injuries. A study from Nationwide Children's Hospital shows 25 children are treated in emergency rooms every hour for bike-related injuries. The most common types of injuries were to the upper extremities. Also, things like cuts, bruises, fractures, and scrapes. Brain injuries account for about 11% of all injuries. And bicyclists 10 to 14 years old tend not to wear the helmets as much. That's the group of children who get hurt the most. And in New York, by law, children under 13 years old must wear a helmet. In New Jersey, the law is for anyone under 16, and in Connecticut, it's 15 years old and younger. Younger than that, some first-grade students get lessons about the power of persuasion and persistence. Here's CBS 2's Jenna DeAngelis with the story we're working on right now.
I'm at the Castlewood Playground behind PS 186 in Queens, and as you can see behind me, it's just a big open space with a few basketball hoops. Well, a first grade class here decided that they wanted to see more at recess. They wanted a playground here. So what did this class do? They wrote a letter to their principal, and she passed that letter along to City Council. Well, Council reached out to the Parks Department, who owns the big yard, and now they're getting a grant for a brand new playground. One of the students told me he learned just because you're little doesn't mean you can't do big things. We'll have much more of this story on air, online, and on social media. Jenna DeAngelis, CBS 2 News.
The Make-A-Wish Foundation went all out to make a Texas teenager's dream come true. 14-year-old Tyler Newland's parents told him the backyard construction project was just a storage shed. But when it was done, they surprised Tyler with his own backyard bat cave. The air-conditioned bat cave comes complete with Nerf guns, a TV, and a bat signal, and it's all completely wheelchair accessible for his Batmobile. And to make it official, kapow, Batman himself was on hand to show Tyler around. The start of a new week for us. Here's John Elliott with a look at your weather.
Hey, everybody, I tell you what, the weather is as sweet as ambrosia on the radio. Remember them? Raggy loves ambrosia. So it is the beginning of the summer season. That means intern season is in full swing. So our weather intern is great. Maybe you'll meet her sometime, Shay. So I don't stack this show. I'm going out on faith. We're going to call this the Cray Cray with Shay Shay, because whatever she has, I pushed a button. I just know the next graphic. 82 is the normal high for today. See, this is important. I teach, the interns, you've got to use persistence forecasting and don't be afraid of climatological data, and which is a great thing. Shay's clearly on the right path to getting Lonnie's job. I mean, my job. Sun sets at 8:31. Now, she could have gone with the UV forecast, but I think she went with synoptic. So here's the deal. When you have these big pressure systems, you add the fronts, high pressure, low pressure, and then you annotate it. So it's less humid. It's 82. It's a great way to tell the weather story, and it's a great story to tell. So tomorrow, it's a June delight, right around 80 for a high, so that's a little bit below normal. Remember, we just learned that. And there's less wind. It's windy today. Northwest wind. We've had gusts to about 30. Should be less windy tomorrow because the area high pressure is almost on top of us. But then, bum, 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 we've got a warmer Wednesday in the works. Now, 82 is not that big of a jump, but with the added humidity, you'll feel it. So you've got that to contend with. So numbers today, 82. It's just very sweet, very nice. Going to the beach, good for you. Sneak away, have fun, but make sure you remember moderate rip current risk because we got that concern, and that issue could persist during the week. Don't forget heat wave by Friday into the weekend. I think Shay did a great job. You have a great day.
Thank you, and you too have a great day. That's your CBS 2 News Update. Stay with us online, on social media, and on TV for the very latest. I'm Dana Tyler. See you later today on CBS 2 News at 6 o'clock. Enjoy.